Nancy Newman, Oro Valley, Arizona. Thank you, Allie Miller, for your courageous, steadfast, organized preparedness as District 1 Pima County Supervisor for these last 4 years, whose representation has single-handedly cracked the past 38 years of Pima County corruption. Thank you, Allie Miller, for setting an example of much-needed change to the mentality of the Pima County Board of Supervisors to care for the safety, security, and well-being of the Pima County taxpayers and residents instead of the status quo of missing, misplaced money, horrible roads, and constant whiny blame games of excuses, all reflecting a shoddy, shabbily cared for county that sticks out like a sore thumb immediately when possible job creators arrive in Tucson. Thank you, Allie Miller, for standing firm in your promise and effort to make Pima County desirable again, to match the gorgeous, gorgeous natural beauty that blesses Pima County. Pima County has everything going for it except the greed that has insidiously overwhelmed Pima County by the mismanagement by the Pima County Board of Supervisors. Except for Allie Miller, you supervisors should be extremely humbled and embarrassed by your continued actions of the last 20 years or more. Thank you, Allie Miller, for steeling yourself against Supervisor Ray Carroll that he finally decided to step down. When will the Board of Supervisors wake up to realize that you have broken your promise to office to carefully watch over, serve, and maintain our county for the safety and benefits of we residents? No wonder Pima County can't or has a hard time attracting jobs, even with outrageously overpaid desert corridor employees. In my opinion, what's wrong in Pima County are the salaries and favors such that no one can say no to the Board of Supervisors or Mr. Huckleberry. Thank you, Allie Miller, for making this clear to us, the taxpayers and residents, that we have been blindsided in the past and now need to demand and expect that we residents come first and foremost, not the cronies and the good old boys. Thank you.
Mayor McLaughlin.
I am not violating, or Sharon Bronson is not violating campaign finance law. Give her puppy money.
Thank you. Miss Lesher, you want to come get this so I don't put it in my pocket?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Where's Dr. Garcia there? No. Oh, yeah, Dr. Garcia, come get the $5. That'll go to Animal Care,
Okay.
Mr. Shirt.
Oh, it started. Okay. Start over?
Sure. Yeah, start over.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Merritt McLaughlin. I reside in Oro Valley. 4 years ago, Supervisor Allie Miller won a hard-fought 4-person primary. She has never deviated from what she promised the voters and has served them with principle, honesty, and courage against enormous odds. However, the power elite, special interests, advocates for defeated bonds, and the favored cronies of Pima County feel very threatened. They therefore recruited, bought, and paid for a naive, unqualified, malleable candidate in hopes of maintaining their long-time unfettered stranglehold over Pima County. This sham candidate is well-financed, and if his handlers so order, he gladly performs as directed. He's been totally disingenuous on every issue. How low can you go? Well, he reached his nadir last week with a campaign mailer. This mailer is garbage with a capital G. This mailer isn't even gutter material, it's sewer material. This mailer is this year's Cesspool Hall of Shame Award. It is despicable, demeaning, sexist, untruthful, and alludes to an ultimate judgment that has no basis. Very sick indeed. All this comes from this wonderful, pious, totally controlled candidate. This comes from a guy that didn't even live in the district when he announced. This comes from a guy that has missed voting 9 out of the last 12 elections. This comes from a guy that as late as April of this year had never even attended a Board of Supervisor meeting. This comes from a guy that announced on the radio that District 1 voted for the bond issues. Wrong. This comes from a guy that after being questioned why he sued the city of Tucson and its taxpayers for $1 million stated that he only did it to get their attention and cause them to correct a problem. What a guy. This all comes from a guy that says he's collegial and can work with everyone on the board. If he doesn't get his way, is he going to sue for $1 million on each issue? This guy's character has been totally exposed with his negative radio ads, sewer-type mailers. He's weak, hypocritical, deceitful, deceptive, and downright unprincipled. If one can stand the stench when you get close to this mailer, put it up to your ear and you will also hear the very loud quacking from a lame duck emanating from this mailer.
Thank you. Alex, Vincent? Alex?
Alex Supervisor.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning. My name is Alex Bissett, and my rescue dog and I live in Oro Valley.
Well, good for you.
4 years ago, yes, rescue dog. 4 years ago, Allie Miller was elected for her first term on the Pima County Board of Supervisors. We deemed her to be knowledgeable, honest, and had the good judgment to use taxpayer money wisely. This morning, I will ask about the judgment of supervisors in districts 2 through 5. The first example is the $15 million Worldview Enterprises spaceport. A commitment to finance this project was made before a vote was ever taken. And when the quote-unquote emergency vote was taken, it passed 4-1 with Supervisor Miller dissenting. The project isn't even permitted. As an ex-VP of a major lending bank that specialized in project financing, I would have been tossed out of my ear if I ever proposed such a thing. Now Pima County is being sued over the legality of this puppy. So I ask you, was it good judgment or bad? Next, I would like to mention the bond issue, which started out at $500 million plus and expanded to $815 million. This in a county that has about twice the combined debt of the other 14 Arizona counties. Supervisor Miller was the only dissenting vote. And I ask you again, good judgment or bad? About 3 years ago, one of Supervisor Miller's staff discovered that taxpayer funds were being illegally handed out by some of our supervisors to entities of their own choice. Supervisor Miller disclosed this at a meeting and it went viral. It was independently investigated by Matthew Schwartz of KVOA4 and even condemned by Tim Miller of the Arizona Star. Pressure was put on the board to stop this practice. And while they tried to find a way to continue, they decided to stop when they found out they were personally liable for the funds passed out. I ask you, good judgment or bad? Now I have a newsflash for you. The Arizona chapter of Americans for Prosperity did an independent survey of all 2015 Arizona county supervisors and city councilmen. These officials were rated on a scale of -6 to +6. Based largely on their voting judgment. Allie Miller was graded a +5 that carried a designation of champion for the taxpayer. There was only one other supervisor in Arizona to win this award. The other 3 supervisors on this board, including the other Republican, earned 3 -1s and 1 0. Most of us realize that bullies are basically cowards. Allie Miller stands up to bullies like Ray Carroll. John Winchester, who will oppose her in the primary, has neither the character nor the intestinal fortitude to do that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Jerry Ottavani? Jerry Ottavani? Yeah.